contrasting styles of these two teams are what's going to make this game fun.
They've had some excellent games. I mean, some of the really close and tight fought games between these two teams.
This is going to be a fun one here this afternoon.
Derrick, bring it down the house!
Great ball movement from the Lady Panthers.
That was nice.
Rivaldo can just do so many things. It's so athletic.
You mentioned earlier in the game, Pat, how you really like the freshman. I can see why.
The Brighton Bengals
Are the Division II state champions.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Hennigan School in Jamaica Plain as we bring you a match from two Boston City League rivals. As tonight, the Cash Chargers will be taking on the Fenway Panthers. Hello, everybody. I'm Pat Flaherty, joined by my partner, as always, Alan Platt. Alan, we got two teams sort of going in opposite directions right now. The Cash Chargers haven't won a game this season. Meanwhile, on the other side, Fenway Panthers, they have 10 wins and are already qualified for the state tournament. So you got Fenway, who's just trying to increase their seed heading into the state tournament and maybe even possibly get in the state city playoffs now that they've expanded. And Cash is just trying to get that one win, get that monkey off their back.
No doubt. And biggest problem, I was watching the warm-ups, Cash just has no size.
Right,
They have
small.
quick players, they have some speed, they have some decent outside shooting also,
right.
but they virtually have no size. So
Right.
most of the teams in the city, including Fenway, have at least one or two, maybe even three big guys to rebound, and get the offense going. But that's why Cash has been struggling so much. And 0-13 is tough for any age kid.
No question. Now, if you talk about their shooting earlier, and one player who can light it up from downtown, he did on Tuesday night, that's Erickson Troncoso. He's one player we're going to look out for Cash. He had 7 threes against Madison Park on Tuesday.
Well, he's the best chance for Cash to get what would be considered a major upset, quite frankly, because like you said, Fenway already has 10 wins. Cash trying for their first, but he's a good shooter. We saw him in BNBL a couple of summers ago. He actually improved his shooting over the past year or so. So it's good that he's sort of one of the leaders of the team.
Sure.
They'll look forward to him to try to get him to have a really big game scoring.
No question, and that's what they're going to have to do with that small size. They are going to have to light it up from downtown. Coach Mark Simpson knows that, and that's something that they're going to try to do, spread out the floor against this Fenway team. Meanwhile, for the Fenway Panthers, several good players on this squad, but it all starts with their point guard, Devontae Sweatman. He's our spotlight player tonight. Very quick. We've seen him a lot in BNBL. Last year, he started at point guard as a freshman for this Fenway team.
That's right. Good speed. But like you said, he knows how to score on his own, but he can also set up his teammates. I mean, as a matter of fact, he was one of the main reasons why Fenway really jumped on the scene last year and was considered a major surprise in the entire City League. You see a nice drop-down pass right there for an easy layup for a teammate. It's deceiving because he looks a little small when you first look at him, but he has good stride, good moves to the basket, nice jump shot, and can finish going all the way to the basket.
Yeah, see, he fills up the stat sheet. Not necessarily that volume scorer, but you see the points, assists, steals, plays good defense, very quick, does a lot of good things for this Fenway team. The offense goes through him here for the Fenway Panthers. So this should be a fun one between these two teams here tonight. As we mentioned, Fenway trying to just increase those win totals as now they're already qualified for the state tournament with 10 wins and double-digit wins here on the season. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have the opening tap here from the Hennigan School in Jamaica Plain. Cash taking on the Fenway Panthers right after these words. Don't go away.
Green red hat. Oops. Red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt. Oops. Yellow pants, red pants, green pants. Oops.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework.
He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just gotta
trying as
try a
hard
little
as I
harder.
can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Welcome back to the Hennigan School in Jamaica Plain. This is the home court of the Fenway Panthers boys basketball team as they host the Cash Chargers. As we mentioned, both the Cash Chargers, still looking for the first win on the season. First-year head coach Marcus Simpson. On the other side, Bruce De Silva in his second season. There you see a good shot of him right there under the Fenway Panthers. Got this team to the state tournament last year. They're trying to do the same thing again this season. They're in the state tournament, trying to improve that seed as the season continues. Starting lineups for both squads. First, we will start out with the Cash Chargers. It's Brown, Thompson, Millen, Marius, and Freeman for Cash. Meanwhile, on the other side, for the Fenway Panthers, it's Devontae Sweatman, who was our spotlight player, Santana, Barbosa, who's also a good scorer for this Fenway team, Francis, and Jackson, who is a very tough player down low for the Panthers. And you see the Cash Chargers in the green uniforms with the yellow trim. Meanwhile, on the other side, for the Fenway Panthers, they're the white uniforms with the yellow and black trim. And we are just about set to go here at the Hennigan School.
It's interesting. It's tough emotionally for any team. Like you mentioned, come 0-13. Here we are, well past the halfway mark of the season, and you're still struggling for your first win.
Despite their record, I talked to Coach Simpson earlier in the week. Very excited to be on TV tonight. Very excited to be playing a good Fenway team. He said, we're going to get our first win on Friday. He was very enthusiastic, and Coach Simpson was a longtime assistant coach at Latin Academy, and I think he's going to do a good job with this Cash team. And Cash controls the opening tap. We are underway here at the Hennigan School.
Yeah, Fenway plays like a sliding 1-3-1 zone defense in the half-court set, because they like to try to get their hands on loose balls and run out for fast breaks.
Brown no good on the three-point attempt. Back down the other end goes Fenway. Layup no good. Sweatman comes down with a rebound. Barbosa with a deep three. That goes off the back iron. Jackson pulling it down for Fenway.
You can see already the problems that Cash has trying to get rebounds.
Brown over to Erickson Troncoso, who lights it up from long distance.
He loves to shoot deep. We talked about him in the open. His shooting is the best chance for Cash to try to get their first win.
Drive inside to Jackson, tries a hook shot, gets the basket and one. Keon Jackson.
And the size inside is going to be a problem. When Jackson gets that low, watch, nice pass here. He's already in the lane. One dribble, one step. Quick hoop and chance for a three-point play.
Jackson no good on the free throw. Keon's had several double-doubles for this Fenway team throughout the season.
Well, the way they play a lot of different zones, but he's usually the anchor in all of them under the basket.
Brown for three off the front rim. Jackson pulls it down. I'm sorry, that's Jaya Francis pulling that rebound down for Fenway. So those two bigs down low.
Those two guys get most of the defensive rebounds for Fenway.
There's a steal there by Masai Thompson, and that's going to go out of bounds and stay with the Cash Chargers. Fenway likes to run up and down, so Coach Simpson and the Chargers want to slow down the pace.
Oh, definitely. The green team is going to try to keep this a walking, passing game.
Another three from the corner from Troncoso. That one short. Sweatman feeds it inside to Jackson. Tries another hook shot. That one doesn't fall. Rebound. Put back no good from Jackson. Tapped in.
Accidental tap. They all count.
Yeah, they're going to give that one to Jackson, but Cash couldn't corral the rebound.
Yeah, since we've seen a bunch of the teams already in the City League, you can tell that Cash is having this same problem all season.
Three-pointer knocked down by Jonathan Marius, and it's a 2-point lead for the Cash Chargers. That's tapped out of bounds, and that'll go back to Cash, as Francis was the last one to touch it.
Good shot of Bruce De Silva, like you said, second-year coach at Fenway. Prior to that, he was coaching in middle school, so he was over at McCormick.
Yeah, he was also an assistant coach with O'Brien.
Right, yeah.
Drew Hughes Brock for a couple of years. Deep three is good. 3 3-pointers now for Cash in the early going. That one knocked down by Masai Thompson.
The thing is, Cash is shooting those so deep. That 1-3-1 isn't effective. So you might see them go to either to a 3-2 zone Fenway or a 2-3. Travel there.
Travel by Damian Barbosa. That'll go back to the Chargers. Midway through the first quarter, 5-point lead for Cash. This is about as well as they could have expected a start here on the road. Another three knocked down for Cash. Once again, that's Jonathan Marius.
I will say this is one of the better shooting gyms in the community school system. So Cash is taking full advantage of that.
Yeah, Alien Santana no good on that three.
Like you said, great stop for Cash. I mean, you're getting exactly what they want. All they want is some deep threes.
Troncoso with his second three. 5 for 5, not 5 for 5, but 5 3-pointers from downtown for the Cash Chargers. They're on top by 11 here with just over 3 minutes left to go. 5 for 6 from deep. This is exactly what they wanted to do.
Oh, definitely. And the key is they're confident because they know that's the only chance they have to win the game. They're not going to win the game rebounding, not going to win the game fast breaking. So one pass, and you're seeing the Fenway defender get out there late. I think what Bruce DeSilva, the Fenway coach, is going to tell his guys, why are you getting out there late? Because they're not going to try to drive by you. They don't want to run into the middle. So all they're going to do is shoot. You got to go out there, close out, be under control, put a hand up. Because that's the part that I know Bruce well, and I know what's bothering him is that you're not seeing any hands up defensively. Don't go for a block. You don't have to do all that to maybe get a foul, but at least give some type of defensive stance for these 3-pointers. These are wide open shots.
Now, when guys are that far back from the 3-point line, even at the high school level, do you try to extend as much as possible?
Well, in a situation like this, you do. When you know the team only has that's their best chance to win. And this is probably the only team you'll see all in the city that has to play like that.
Cash now getting out on the break.
So they're gonna keep swinging.
That's a turnover. Steal there by Sweatman. Devontae. Bosa inside to Jackson. Keon gets tied up underneath.
That was a good double.
And they're going to call a foul.
That's a tough break on
Jeff
Williams.
Million.
Yeah, Million did a good job to go down, but a little too much contact. Tell you, those 5 threes on offense have really put a quick step in the defense for Cass.
Sweatman from the elbow stops the bleeding here for Fenway.
Interesting. He was reluctant to shoot that jump shot a couple of times, just trying to move the ball around. But like you said,
what a steal!
That one. Good job.
What a steal from Sweatman. He gets fouled, and he'll get 2 free throws.
So you got to hustle back. That was Million again. Yeah. Million's one of their seniors. Even though he's a guy, very, very good athlete, just not a whole lot of size. And that's going to be the message for the night. Whenever we talk about a Cash player, look at Million. Chase him down. And a little bit of the forearm there.
Million goes to Boston International High School, and any of their students, if they do want to play basketball, they play for this Cash program. Right. Million was actually on the soccer team for Boston International that made it all the way to the Division IV state championship. So he's coming from a winning program.
I was just going to say that explains some of his athleticism. That means he was running all fall.
Sweatman knocks down the second. 15-8, 7-point lead for Cash, just under a minute to go here in the first quarter.
So here we go. 2-1-2, 3-quarter court press. They want to slow that's a travel, yeah. The thing is, you just change it up. And I knew Bruce would do something different. Because you change it up so that same corner jump shot that was open, you get it, and now all of a sudden you have that defender running at you. A much different look. This 2-3 zone has worked pretty well for Cash.
Deep
so
three
far.
from Sweatman, and that's off the front rim.
Got the
Three-pointers.
corner. Got the corner again.
Ooh, nice drive there from
Good
Cash.
job.
Scoring off the window is Masai Thompson. Back to a 9-point lead for Cash.
One of the things you always hear high school coaches talking about into the first quarter.
Yeah, that's going to do it here for the first quarter at the Hennigan School. Cash on top of Fenway, 17-8. They've been shooting the three really well. And we'll see what they can do in the second quarter here on Game of the Week right after these words, folks.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to the Hennigan School in Jamaica Plain on Game of the Week. The Cash Chargers right now lead the Fenway Panthers 17-8. Folks, if you want to follow us on social media, the first thing you can do is go to our Facebook page, search for Game of the Week here in Boston. A lot of good stuff up there, videos, pictures, all that good stuff that you might want to check out. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV and tweet at us. Use the hashtag BostonGOW. 9-point lead for Cash as we start the second quarter. Fenway will see if they can start to pound it inside. There's Jackson with a strong move.
That's the ticket for Fenway, just like the outside shooting is the way to go for Cash.
Fenway now in that sort of three-quarter court press. Troncoso, step back jumper around the rim and out. Nice rebound inside. And that's going to be a foul on Barbosa.
There's a block from the back. There's a little contact also.
Yeah, Million coming down with that one.
Watch, you see the miss. Good offensive rebound. Good effort there.
That was close. That might have been.
Man, I think
Barbosa might have had all ball.
I think it was a clean block, yeah.
And Million no good on the first. Substitution for Fenway. As Octavius Nunes comes in for the Panthers. And second free throw is rattled home for Million. Back to an 8-point lead for Cash.
Yeah, 2-3 zone for Cash is trying to protect the post. Nice steal by Million.
Million's had a couple of good minutes here for Cash. Million to the basket and couldn't quite finish it. Nunes feeding inside to Jackson. Nice pass from Nunes.
It just seems that this defensive pressure has helped Fenway get themselves back in the game. They're stepping out on the shooters much better.
Marius, deep three. That one short-armed.
Right before the end of the first quarter, the point I was making is coaches always talk about when you're trying to attack a zone, you've got to move the ball, pass the ball as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, young kids are so used to dribbling the ball. It's a tough habit to break.
Good rebound inside for Nunes, and he gets fouled.
Let's look inside, we'll see. Yeah, Nunez, nice rebound, earned his shot, little dribble, gets hit in the arm.
Knocks down the first. Fenway 3 for 4 from the free throw line so far here in the first half.
Yeah, we mentioned them being a surprise last year. They definitely caught some of the better Boston teams by surprise early in the season. And then, like you said, went to the tournament. And for a lot of the younger players, it was a good experience for them. You know, they lost early on, but still, you have most of those guys coming back.
Troncoso got every part of the rim, but it didn't go down.
Tough break on that one. Well, they started out 5 for 6. Now they're like 0 for the last 3 or 4.
Acrobatic shot, no good from Sweatman. They mentioned the Fenway team last year. They actually lost 3 guys just before the tournament because of report cards.
That's right.
And that certainly hurt them.
Play.
Getting the basket and one for cash was the sophomore, Masai Thompson. We're looking to complete a 3-point play.
Watch inside. Nice move. Switched the ball last second to get away from the defense and get that clean shot.
Thompson now with 7 points to lead the Chargers. And now it's 8. He gives them a 7-point lead with a couple of minutes gone by in the second quarter. Jackson gets mugged inside, and he'll get 2 shots.
Once you beat, but
I'm sorry, that's Francis.
Yeah, that huge difference in size. Well, I mean, the Troncoso knows better. For some reason, he gave up the baseline. It's the last thing you want to do. There's definitely no help in the baseline. I don't know if he slipped or just got bumped off of there, but you got to always force that post player back to the middle where one of your teammates might be able to drop down and help.
Jaya Francis knocks down the first free throw, young sophomore for Fenway. No good on the second, and Million comes down with the rebound. Troncoso for 3, nothing but nylon.
Yeah, nice stroke. You watch the stroke. I remember seeing him last year in BNBL, but 2 years ago we saw him. And you can tell he's definitely worked on that shot.
Nice move by Devontae Sweatman.
Yeah, Sweatman can slither through the defense with that slim body of his.
Yeah, you're right, Alan. That zone is completely extended by Fenway.
Oh, yeah. You can't give up 5 for 6 3-pointers in the first, 5 minutes of the game and not change something.
Barbosa called for his second foul.
Again, nice drive. As we're seeing, I think what's happening, Cash is being told, their players are being told, look, guys, they're thinking about our 3-point plays, 3-point shots, rather, so let's start going to the basket whenever you have an opening.
So Brown knocks down the first free throw. Rattles home the second. Like you said, that's what happens when you knock down those threes. It opens up things
to start the game. When you start the game like that. And I really think Fenway came out a little sluggish. And we talked about a 10-win team going against a winless team.
Sure.
These are high school players.
Human nature.
In their minds, they're saying, listen, we got these guys. We got size, we got speed.
Thompson lines up a 3 off the back iron. Barbosa with the rebound for the Panthers. Francis gets the ball swiped away. It'll stay with Fenway.
Nice little double cut.
Francis off the inbound. And now a 5-point lead for Cash.
See, that's what Cash has to really try to guard against, is giving up 2 or 3 hoops in a row to Fenway.
And Brown lost it there on the break. Here comes Barbosa.
Like
4 on 2.
Here. Yeah. Oh, missed it. Oh.
So a miss from Nunez, but he'll go to the free throw line.
Nice pass. Nice shot. Missed that one. Nope. Should have rolled out.
So a Octavius Nunez, the junior. No good on the first. A couple of substitutions for the Panthers. Keon Jackson coming back in. And Elian Santana also back in for Fenway. Second free throw no good from Nunez. Million for three, no good. Nunez, no good on the jumper. Put back is good, and one for Santana.
I tell you, Santana's been playing out in the wing for the most part, but that time, once he saw the shot go from the opposite wing, air ball, he's alert enough to get it. Get the three-point opportunity.
And he completes the three-point play. .312 left to go here in the second quarter. 2-point lead now for Cash. Fenway has really chipped away at the Chargers' lead. And stolen away by Sweatman. Devontae misses the point-blank layup.
He knew Million was coming after him for the block. Nice play. Let's see which way this is going to go.
And that was called on Devontae Sweatman.
Yeah, let's see where there's a little hit there, and Sweatman went across the body.
Boy, we knew Devontae was a good point guard, but he is a good defensive player.
He's real quick.
He has got to be a pain in the butt to play against.
And not only that, he got 2 more seasons to grow.
Right.
That's the best part of his game.
Brown
Another
again
steal.
getting the ball stolen away. Fenway looking to tie it or take the lead here. Sweatman off balance.
Right.
Boy, Devontae has really picked it up here in the second quarter. Tied up at 26, 2:20 left to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, so they're seeing straight man-to-man now, so this is where the quickness of Fenway is showing up. It's going to be a blocking foul.
Yeah, Brown got bumped trying to drive the lane as Jaquan Jones was whistled for the blocking foul.
Another nice drive, and blocking foul will give up 2 shots.
Brown, no good on the first. Brown was really the only senior, or rather returning varsity player for this Cash team from a year ago. Everybody else, you know, Troncoso has a lot of basketball experience. He's played AAU and other things, but has never really played high school varsity basketball. And everybody else just hasn't played on the high school level.
It's a tough transition. First of all, we don't have much size, and like you mentioned, inexperience. I mean, to me, the ideal example of that is Millian. Now, he's an excellent athlete. You can tell, just watching him his first half, you can tell basketball's not his first sport. You mentioned how good he is at soccer.
Right.
I mean, if you had, it's one of those things where the coach says, okay, would you rather have him with 3 or 4 more inches or 2 more years of eligibility? Nice little fadeaway that time by the big fella.
Yeah, Keon Jackson. Yeah. Getting another one to drop for him, and Fenway has their first lead of the game, 28-27. Millian spots up for 3 and buries it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, they all have the green light. We knew that coming in. We talked about in the open, their best chance to win any game, not just this one, any game, they've got to hit a bunch of 3-pointers.
7-3 so far for Cash, and now Sweatman's called
a
traveling violation. Just over a minute left to go here in the first half. The Cash Chargers with a 2-point lead over the Fenway Panthers. Million for three. That one no good. Rebound goes out to Cash, though, as Marius gets it back up top to Brown. Now it's Million again for three, and that one he knocks down.
He got his stroke going. Took him a while to shoot some, but he's made two in the last minute.
Back to a 5-point lead for the Cash Chargers. Barbosa, deep three is no good. Million comes away with a rebound. Million off the give and go for the Chargers.
Yeah, he's such a good athlete, I tell you. He's really such a good athlete.
And now Million's down
I
on the
think
floor.
He may come down awkwardly on one of his legs.
That is not something you want to see if
It's a
you're
tough break for Cash.
Cash.
Because he's 8 points in the last, 9 points in the quarter here. You can't see the low. Something happened below. You see him.
It took him a little while
to realize.
Looks like he's all right.
Yeah.
He's gonna.
Now he just made a slight roll of the ankle. Oh, actually, he got muscle. He's just trying to shake it off.
Yeah, I wonder if it's even
like a pull or something, a cramp. He's going to come out.
Yeah, I think he has to come out of the game.
He might as well just sit out the last 30 seconds of the half.
Right.
But he's giving his team a nice rush. I mean, okay, seven straight points after Fenway had taken their first lead.
Nice drive here by Fenway. And Santana can't get the basket to go, but he will get 2 free throws for the Panthers. Santana knocks down the first substitution, the freshman for Fenway. Ismani Cepeda coming back in this last 20 seconds. Santana hits the second. Still a 5-point lead here for Cash.
Well,
they'll try to hold for the final shot.
I was just going to say, they'll try to make this last shot a 3.
Troncoso back to the corner.
It is.
3 on the way, well short.
Shot too early.
Yeah, Barbosa. Get to Sweatman. Devontae gets the basket and the foul. What a shot from Devontae Sweatman.
Well, I'm sure the Cass kids will be told at halftime. The first thing is we took that shot much too early. We should have had the last shot of the half. Took the shot with 10 seconds to go in the half. You get 9 seconds to allow a good Fenway team to create something. Pass to Sweatman. He makes a nice layup.
Misses the free throw.
To do it.
And that is going to do it for the first half. Here at the Hennigan School in Jamaica Plain, a team seeking their first win. They lead by 3 here at the half. Cash on top of Fenway 35-32. And this game couldn't have started any better than it did for the Cash Chargers, who did what they wanted to do. They were knocking down threes left and right.
5 out of 6.
And they were playing pretty good defense against this Fenway team.
Like I mentioned, if you hit 3-pointers like that, your defense is going to be all over the place then because your adrenaline is sky high. As a matter of fact, you got to wonder, 0-13, how many times have they really been up at halftime?
Sure, this might be a completely new feeling for them.
But they give them all the credit in the world. They played well. They took advantage of some lax defense in those first 5 minutes. Fenway started against the game beginning of the second quarter, but that last rush there by Million, good athlete, went to the basket once, hit 2 3-pointers, so they're holding on to a slight lead, but again, they're going to have to figure out something with the big fellas inside. Jackson's really giving them some trouble.
No question. Fenway also loves to press. We saw them create some turnovers. They are right around half court against this Cash Chargers team, and that's how they score a lot of their points is off those turnovers through that pressing defense. So we'll see what kind of adjustments both these teams can make here at the half here at the Hennigan School. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we will have the third quarter here on Game of the Week. Right after these words, make sure you stick around. This is a good one.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
We can warn someone when their drink isn't safe.
And disrupt the situation.
We can.
Get someone a cab.
Or walk them home safely.
We can make campuses safer for our friends.
Our roommates.
Our classmates. Our fellow human beings.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can intervene.
It's on us.
All of us.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts? Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. It's gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go! Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Welcome back to the Hennigan School here on Game of the Week as the Cash Chargers lead the Fenway Panthers 35-32. And we're just a couple of minutes away from starting the third quarter. But if you look at what happened there in the first half, I mean, Cash was lighting it up from downtown like they wanted to do.
8 3-pointers happens, right?
That's right.
That's the need. You're talking about 24 points out of your 35 in the first half.
Yep.
That's going to sort of put you in a good position.
Let's take a look at the halftime stats here at the Hennigan School. And first up, it's going to be the Fenway Panthers.
The Fenway Sweatman, we talked about him being the playmaker, but he ends up with 12 points because he can go to the basket when they get in the fast break situation. Jackson, the big kid inside, went to the post to get 10 points. Jackson with 6 rebounds also. Sweatman, the little point guy, snuck in for 3 rebounds. And then for assists, you have Barboza with 3 and Jackson with 2.
Let's take a look at the Cash Chargers stats.
That's for the Cash, both Millen and Troncosko, 3 threes. That's why it's 9 and 9. Rebounds, Million, really good athlete, the soccer player, 5 rebounds. Thompson added with 3, and then 5 assists between Brown and Million.
He talked about the 8 total threes that Cash made there in the first half. Let's take a look at some highlights of Erickson Troncoso, who was lighting it up from downtown.
He started the game by hitting threes, and we talked about him in the open. One from the wing, that one there from the deep corner, back to the wing again, and really nice stroke. I mean, really nice stroke for him, and you can see he's very confident, even though that last one, there was defense coming at him. So once you have that stroke going, it doesn't matter.
I mean, on the other side, like you said, Devontae Sweatman really putting in the scoring in the first half for Fenway.
He picked it up. See, that jumper right there, that came when they had given up like a 9-0 run. So he really he broke off a run, but you can see him pull up for these mid-range shots, and he also can go to the basket. He gets hit and still finishes. So I tell you, he's something. That quickness of his, and so his size isn't really an issue because he's quick. He knows how to get to open spots, and he can pull up at any point for a jump shot.
Yeah, we saw him in the past, and some of those stat lines from previous games this season has been, 5-6 assists, 7 or 8 points, a few steals, but we really saw him score.
See, in a game like this, exactly. There's no real shot blocking threat from Cash, so he can go all the way to the basket.
No question. He's certainly fun to watch there in the first half. Folks, if you want to follow us on social media, you can follow us on Facebook. Search for Game of the Week here in Boston. A lot of good stuff on our Facebook page. Make sure you like us. There's a lot of different videos, different pictures, different information about what games are going to be covered. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. We are just about set to start the third quarter here at the Hennigan School in Jamaica Plain, home of the Fenway Panthers. They currently trail the Cash Chargers 35-32, just about ready to start the second half. Cash will start out with the basketball and a 3-point lead.
Well, the challenge is going to be, can they keep that 3-point shooting going? Because they are going to see a lot more defensive pressure here in the second half.
Drive that
nice
time.
Job.
The basket is good.
Under control. That was the key to that whole play.
And that's Thompson with the runner.
He had a nice drive in the first half also.
And Francis got it poked away, but they're going to call a foul. I believe on Million.
We talked about Thompson the last time down. His hoop to start the half gives him 10 points for the game. It's going to be an offensive foul, illegal pick on Jackson.
So Fenway got off to a slow start in the first quarter. They're off to sort of a slow start here in the third quarter.
Well, once they went to that 2-2-1 press, that helped them. That's a block for the foul. So again, he'll learn. I mean, that was good defensive position that time for Barbosa, but he made the mistake of swinging. You get up there, you get very tall with that long reach, but right at the ends, because he wanted the ball so badly, get that little swing. The official sees that. If there's any kind of contact, there'll be a foul call.
So Troncoso cannot hit the first. We see Troncoso shoot that 3-2. He really follows through.
Right.
And when you have a player that goes up to block a shot and they swipe, sometimes that follow-through is what gets hit.
That's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens. Defensive coaches always say, should be a third shot.
Yeah, he was shooting a 3.
Definitely a 3. Defensive coaches always say they have to go straight up. Matter of fact, officials called verticality. If you go straight up, even if there's contact, sometimes it won't be called. Okay, it's going to be a double violation, actually, so the ball just goes back to Fenway. Jackson's telling the official, yeah, I violated because he faked the shot.
Right. So sort of a disappointing trip to the free throw line there for Cash. They were getting 3 and they only got 1. So.
I think that'll save Bob Bosa from getting yelled at for the foul.
Bosa inside to Jackson. That's Francis.
Yeah,
Keep
Francis,
mixing up those guys.
Well,
they're about the same height.
They're almost the exact same body build also
Right.
in size. And they do run sort of a double post. Again, strong, using that height. Well, he's listed as 6'2", whereas Jackson's 6'3". But they look to be about the same size.
Francis.
Fenway knows. I'm sure the coaches told him at halftime, we're going to win this inside with our size. So keep moving the ball around, and then once one of the big guys gets an open look, just take advantage of it. As a matter of fact, they'd already be back in the game if they weren't so bad from the foul line.
Yeah, after going 5 for 6 to start the game at the stripe, Fenway, I think, under 50% now for the game.
Oh, Sweatman, he lined that one up. That's that quickness. You see, you look at the defensive movement for Fenway, much different from the first half.
Deep three is good. There for Cash. That's Marius again knocking down the three.
Back to a 7-point lead for Cash and Green.
Sweatman no good on the jumper. They stay with Fenway.
Yeah, Million was in there trying to battle with Jackson. Nice steal by Million.
Here comes Million going coast to coast and couldn't hit the layup. A little too much on it. Here comes Sweatman trying to return the favor.
You talk about baseline to baseline sprinting.
He is so quick. Another three on the way for Marius. 2 for 2 here in the third quarter.
Yeah, that one was totally on Francis. This is his area to cover. He was supposed to get out there quicker.
Marius now 4 for 4 from behind the arc. Let's take a look at this one.
Underneath the basket, it's just too late getting out there. See, when you're scrambling around like that, the defense does two things. You're watching a particular area, but you're also watching where the ball goes. So in that case, Francis, he was caught in the lane, didn't see the shooter come all the way out to the three-point line. By the time he recognized him and got out there, it was much too late.
Cash again knocking down the threes. They've carried it over from the first half to here in the second half. They're now back to an 8-point lead here with 5:14 left to go in the third quarter. And if you're Fenway, what are you talking about right now? Extending even more? I mean, these guys are taking it from deep.
That was just a mistake there. So that one, you can get on that one. But the other ones were really good offense by Cash. I mean, Cash is they're a little jittery in the second quarter when Fenway first went to that sort of three-quarter court press, and then they went to man-to-man. Then they started that scramble. But starting this third quarter, whatever they were told, whatever the Cash kids were told at halftime, they're now executing because they're moving the ball much better. And not only that, they're running quicker to get to their open spots. It's not like they're just standing around waiting for the ball. If they don't get it on one side, they'll go to the opposite side. They keep moving, but at the same time, they're always ready to catch a ball and shoot.
Cash currently in the middle of a 9-4 run here to start off the third quarter. Fenway's trying to say that they should have a fresh shot clock.
One of the other things that Fenway might do, they might take one of the big kids out, put them a little more quickness in there defensively. They could platoon Jackson and Francis.
Jackson,
yep.
Offensive foul. Guess who took the charge?
Well, not only that, if you look at it again, Jackson didn't even have to have that win. He has a size advantage. Now watch him push back. He didn't even need that. All he had to do was just take the step, and his size was going to give him an open shot. Now we're having some full court pressure.
And there's a steal at half court. Coming away with it for Fenway is Jonathan Barnes, who gets a layup.
Fenway actually did this a lot last year with the full court pressure whenever they're behind. So they took out one of the big guys, Francis. They took him out.
Brown no good in that jumper.
See, sometimes quickness can be just as much of an advantage as size.
Barbosa for three, well off the mark. Jackson trying to save it, but that'll go back to Cash. Barbosa's been the one that's picked up the scoring as Fenway's lost a couple of players over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, mainly they had their leading scorer is out, and I think he's out for another game. So it's one of those situations that, you know, you never know who's going to pick it up. Like you mentioned, Barbosa a couple of games, but here's a steal and layup. That was a good play in half court. And like I said, you never know who's going to step up when you have a void like that. Now, the only sort of comfortable situation to have, they already have their 10 wins to get into the state tournament. But they do want to try to make a nice run to the city championships.
Sure.
Right. So now, when those other kids do come back, obviously they'll go right back into the lineup because they're a couple of the better players. But Barbosa, just to show you the contrast, like you mentioned, he's helped them pick up scoring, but tonight he hasn't scored yet. And here we are, you know, midway through the third quarter.
Yeah, Barbosa had 14 points the other night against Boston United.
And the funny thing about it is probably those same shots he's missing tonight.
No question. Yeah, he hit a couple threes, had a couple of pull-ups. I mean, he has the ability. As Millian gets fouled on his way to the rim.
Yeah, Barbosa. Yeah.
That's the fourth foul on Barbosa.
Nice drive. Yeah, hit his hand.
Damian's coming about a half inch away from making clean blocks, but all his fouls have been that close. Millian buries the first substitution for Fenway. Keon Jackson going to head to the bench. Coming back in is Nunez.
Okay, so now you have Fenway matching up. They're actually the same size as Cass. So they're definitely going all quickness right now, this last 4 minutes.
No good on the second. Barbosa's still in there. I think he has 4. I could be mistaken, but surprised he's still in.
So now Cash has gone to a 2-1-2 to try to keep Sweatman out of the lane. There goes Barbosa.
And that goes out of bounds. Back to Cash. And the frustrations for Damian Barbosa continue.
Really? I mean, he's, like you said, he's used to scoring.
Sure.
And for young players, that's something that stays in their head.
Millian for 3 off the back rim. Here comes Sweatman. Devontae. Right there for the putback. He couldn't put it home, though. And he comes back with the basketball. Nunez inside. And they're going to call a foul on the floor.
Yeah. From what I'm seeing, it looks like even with the small lineup, Fenway doesn't seem to be moving the ball quick enough to really create an advantage.
Travis Adamson now in for Cash. Travis, a junior.
See, there's no real post play in there, so everything's going to be on the perimeter.
Barbosa with the runner, and he gets it to go off the window.
Like you said, some of that frustration. He did a good job that time. He stopped short so he wouldn't create an offensive foul.
Back to a 5-point lead for Cash. Three minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Millian Knocks that one down.
Good job.
That was a two-pointer.
Fake the drive to the basket, step back.
Getting the basket and one for Fenway was Jonathan Barnes. Nice drive by him.
You watch him, he's going to take the contact right there. Still under control enough to get the shot up.
Barnes completes the three-point play, so Fenway cuts the lead down to 4. With 2.5 left to go in the third quarter.
Straight man-to-man full court pressure now.
Troncoso, who hasn't been able to get even a shot off here in the third. And they're going to whistle Fenway for the foul as Brown tried to drive the lane.
Yeah, Francis reached in at the last second. I'm sorry, it's on Nunes. Nunes. Plenty of time in the shot clock, 20 seconds.
Yeah, we mentioned Cash wants to slow it down.
Oh, definitely.
That fresh shot clock was exactly what they were looking for. Million for 3.
Oh, nice shot, wow.
Well, Million has really carried this Cash team.
His second quarter shooting really carried over here to the third quarter.
$15 points now for Jeff Million. The runner from Barnes, no good. Here comes Brown, going baseline and almost poked away. Three-pointer on the way, and it's short. That time from Marius. Barbosa with a step-back 3. Buries it for Fenway. His confidence is getting a boost right now. Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. 4-point lead for the Cash Chargers.
This man-to-man defense has been pretty. It's going to be a.
They're going to call a carry there on Leland Brown.
As I said, the man-to-man pressure is making the Cash players make one-on-one moves, and they're just not used to having to do that.
Devontae Sweatman back in for Fenway.
Yeah, nice break, actually. Nice rest.
Barbosa get ahead of the bench. Sweatman pulls the trigger on a 3, and it's around the rim and out. Troncoso with the rebound for Cash.
The shot clock and game clock are in sync. They could actually go for the last shot, but I think this pressure defense by Fenway is going to make them shoot early.
Troncoso, step back jumper. Barnes up and under move and gets it to go. Well, that was a fun third quarter here at the Hennigan. Cash still leading Fenway, this time 52-48. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we will have the fourth quarter year-round game of the week. Right after these words, this is going to be fun down the stretch.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It
makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Welcome back to the Hennigan School in Jamaica Plain.
We have a mini drama, right?
That's right.
Is Cass going to get their first win of the season?
Yeah, this is certainly a great way to do it for them on the road against a good Fenway team. Fenway still playing undermanned for at least this game. As we come into the fourth quarter, too, Devontae Sweatman has a chance for a triple-double.
Oh, no, that's not surprised.
Devontae currently with 16 points, 9 rebounds, 5 steals, and 4 assists. And I think now they're trying to figure out who's got possession of the ball.
Yeah, it was... Actually, they're trying to talk about a foul call.
Oh, I think they just found out. Damian Barboza, I think, has 4 fouls.
I think you're right.
And I don't think
that's what they're telling
I don't
us.
think the Fenway bench knew that.
Fenway bench had him down for 3. That's why he stayed in the game. But he's been part of this run to come back. So
yeah, they definitely need his
he'll
scoring.
just play a little smarter, not be as aggressive. Even though they're staying in the man-to-man. Oh, well, nice steal.
Miscommunication there by Cash, and Barnes comes away with the basket.
Barnes has had a nice little offensive sprint for Fenway to get them back in the game.
Yeah, he's had a nice job off the bench. Cash now with just a 2-point lead.
So now Cash is going back to just standing around. They got to create some movement for the dribbler.
Million gets blocked out of bounds by Barnes.
I gave Barnes a compliment with his offensive spurts in the third quarter, but he's been talking a lot during the game. I think he just got a cheat.
Coach De Silva saying, what do you do? You know, sometimes when you have a team like Cash who has just been, scratching and clawing, and all year they're just waiting for this win, and then they get a little confidence. They start to chirp a little bit, and I'm sure Fenway, who's got 10 wins, is saying, not so fast, my friend. And then you see Barnes. He got excited over that block. I didn't see much there, but
well,
he must have said something.
That's why he said something, exactly.
So Million going to shoot the technical free throws. And he's able to get the first.
See, Cash, the one thing I'm sure the coaches are wondering about now, Fenway is going to make another run, and if and when they do take the lead again here in the fourth quarter, how is the Cash team then going to respond, knowing they haven't won a game? And don't know how many really close games they've been in.
Sure. Do they say, here we go again?
Listen, that's the first thing that comes to everybody's mind. Straight man-to-man again for Fenway.
Off the
Million,
pick
nice
and
cut.
roll
Nice
goes
cut.
Jeff Million, who's got 18 points now to lead all scorers. Sweatman lines up a 3. That one off the front rim. And Brown gets it poked away, goes out of bounds.
Yeah, good job by Barbosa to get involved.
Coming back in for Fenway is Ilian Santana. Fenway with that quick lineup again without the 2 bigs, Francis or Jackson. Sweatman on the drive. He was getting hand checked.
He can draw that foul just about every play. And he's so quick and low to the ground that this is simply foot speed. None of the defenders can stay with him. If Cash stays in man-to-man, you've got to give Sweatman the ball.
Corner 3, no good. from Santana. Brown off the crossover. Somehow got that to go.
Yeah, he somehow is right because Sweatman had a clean block. He somehow gathered it back and spun it home.
7-point lead for Cash. Nunes short on the 3. Million going down to get the loose ball, but that is going to go back to Fenway.
Again, they hustle in there by Bonds. It's interesting, even as bad a game as Barbosa's had, every time he touches the ball, you hear the coaches from Cass saying, shooter, shooter, shooter,
right.
Get out there.
That time it goes down.
Just off the bench.
For Santana.
Santana, right?
Fenway's been looking for some outside shooting all game. Brown on the drive. Another strong drive from Leland Brown, the senior. From Sweatman. No good on that runner. And that's a steal there for Sweatman.
Take it all your way.
And he goes all the way in for the layup. Back to a 4-point ball game, and Coach Simpson wants a timeout here with 5:24 left to
Coach
go
Simpson,
here in the third.
His frustration
fourth,
split. Okay, they have back-to-back turnovers. Matter of fact, they're trying to get a foul there. Something so quick he got away from the foul. But again, these are the kind of things that happen. I mean, three times because they've been playing the corner. 3 different times, Cash defended, got Fenway to miss a shot, got the ball, and either just lost it, or knocked it out of bounds, or in that case right there, another steal by Sweatman. So it's like these are the plays. You're already up 6. If you can convert 2 of them, you're up 10. Everything's different.
Right.
But I tell you, it's one of those things, and it's tough. You know, I liken this to how I hate to see a football team get shut out. You know, knowing how hard and physical a football game is. Like
sure.
I think I've mentioned during the season a number of times. I just hate seeing a football team get shut out.
All the work you do,
and there's
just nothing on the scoreboard.
To me, this is similar. You have a good team, 0-13, you know, and you know they work hard. You know they practice hard. You can tell they're good, really good shooters, and they're giving the effort. Like you said, they actually got some confidence out of the way they've played through 3 quarters. They were starting to do a little chirping.
Right. Without that first W, and they're starting to talk a little bit. Coming out of the timeout, 4-point lead for Cash.
Now, Cash is going to have to withstand some good defense by. That's a player control foul there.
Boy, Brown's had 2 good drives, and finally Fenway stepped in for the charge.
Well, again, see, he's trying to make the drive because there's no big men in there. Both Francis and Jackson. Well, actually,
he was moving.
That should have been a block, but it's all right. I mean, it's a tough call.
Yeah, that's a split-second call there. Barbosa.
Wow.
Buries it.
That was a deep
from way downtown.
1-point game. 5 minutes to go.
The drive here for Cash and get fouled on his way to the rim. That time was Thompson.
That's Thompson again, Messiah, right? Yep. Watch Messiah. Nice right-handed strong move. That's his strong hands.
That's 5 on Barbosa.
Barbosa. Well, they haven't buzzed him out, so I don't. No, they are going to buzz him out. Wait a minute. I'm not sure why they're. No, he didn't foul out.
Okay, so that was his
he would have had to go. He would have had to go out before the first
right away.
Shot. So he's. So
that must be his 4th now.
Okay. Yeah, Jackson's back in. 2-point lead for Cash and Green, trying for their first win.
Thompson hits the second. Cash now 10 for 15 from the free throw line. Under 5 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Sweatman buries the 3.
And he's had a tough time shooting from that deep wing.
21 points now for Devontae Sweatman.
Another steal.
Another steal for him. Doesn't put it home. Put back no good from Barnes.
Those quick hands.
Brown gets rid of it.
I should have shot that one.
Thompson on the drive, and it goes down for him.
Left-handed.
The three is good from Barbosa and Fenway.
Barbosa
takes the lead.
Listen, I'm going to foul out anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to let these fly.
I'm just going to. Poked away by Fenway. This is what they do. Barbosa's feeling it and knocks down the runner.
Good call, Pat. Excellent call. That's exactly what we're seeing. That's exactly what a kid who, just had a little talk with the officials. I got 4 fouls. I got 4 fouls. Yeah, you got 4 fouls. Hits a deep three, and then comes back and pulls up without going all the way to the basket. Watching purposely pull up, no contact. I'm not getting fouled out of this game.
Barbosa now with 10 points, all here in the second half.
Just like that, Fenway's up by 3.
The Panthers lead 66-63 midway through the fourth quarter. We still got about 4 minutes left. A lot of time left in this game. This has been a lot of fun. This game now going back and forth.
But this is exactly the situation I mentioned about 5 minutes ago, where that cast huddle. The coach's main job is keep his players from thinking about, here we go again.
Right.
Say anything but that. So, and if they can believe it, they can try to finish it off and get a win.
We talked about Barbosa having that nice run in here in the fourth quarter. Devontae Sweatman is putting in some work. He's got 21 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 8 steals.
He's going to get a triple-double on steals.
He might get a quadruple-double if he dishes out some more assists.
Well, to be honest with you, Pat, if he has the ball, I'd just rather have him keep it.
Sure. Cash hasn't had a solid offensive possession in a while, and Brown gets hammered on his way to the basket.
He did do a good job forcing the action that time. See, we're seeing the Fenway defense, Washington defense collapse. He's had 2 kids. Sweatman went for the poke steal, but he had his teammate on top, Santana, actually covering for the block.
Brown no good on the first. Leland Brown with 9 assists in this game. Lately, it's been his drives to the basket that have been forcing the issue. Right. He's 1 for 2 from the line.
So you never, high school basketball, you can never tell. A 10-win team and a winless team. This is one of the better games we've had all season.
No question. Jackson.
There you go.
Nice move to the rim.
He last time down, he got in the post, he had the offensive foul. So obviously they told him, listen, don't lean, just turn and shoot.
4-point lead for Fenway.
Watch for the threes. He'll take that one. He's stepping back.
Runner is good from Brown. Oh, that's Thompson,
Thompson again, yeah.
Thompson cuts it back down to a 2-point lead. Barbosa, another deep one. He's well off of that.
He's had 2 air balls.
That jump starts the fast break here for Thompson. And good steal from Barbosa. Going all the way to the basket. Sweatman with the rebound. And Devontae going to pull it back out for Fenway.
Talk about a nose for the ball.
Santana lights it up from downtown.
Biggest lead of the game for Fenway, and it's only 5.
Thompson just got caught picking up his dribble.
He got caught in between. Exactly right, Pat. Picked up one dribble too soon because he was too far out. Ended up with a bad air ball.
And Coach Simpson Calls a timeout here with 2:03 left to go in the fourth quarter. Fenway now with the 5-point lead. And you see Cash not really moving the ball like they've done.
Well, and again, first of all, a couple of kids played almost the whole game, so they got to be a little winded. But the key thing is, while Fenway's picking up their defense as expected, Cass has got to do some other things. And like you just said, movement is the way you go against an aggressive defensive team. This Cass team is fun. The way they shoot, if you notice, Million hasn't gotten the ball much the last 3 minutes. Now, again, that's by design for Fenway. Fenway's making sure someone sticks with him, or if need be, they'll shade and double him because he's the one who can make a strong drive to the basket. And he's hit his threes. And he had a great third quarter. So without Million doing much of anything the last 3 or 4 minutes, that's allowed Fenway to come back and get this lead.
Yeah, Erickson Troncoso also, who was knocking down threes in that first half.
Again,
he has gotten a lot of open looks here in the second.
That opens the key word. The threes they've made the second half, Cass, they've been contested, very good shots that they just made.
And Jackson is fouled from behind by Troncoso.
Yeah, Troncoso, he's you can see the size difference right there. It's like a big brother and a little brother, right? but it's frustration for Troncoso. Looking at a bonus now, it should be 1-1. But you're right, fun game. This high school basketball. We didn't have a chance to see Fenway last year when they were surprising the whole city.
Sure.
It's good to see them. Bruce DeSilva, I know him pretty well. And he was saying how he really likes his team. He lost a couple of kids from last year's team, but he knew who he had coming back. And it all starts with Jackson and Sweatman. And you got Sweatman 2 more years?
Yeah. Nice to have a point guard for that
long.
long.
I'm telling you. Put him on a nutrition plan. Couple of inches and a few more pounds with that quickness. Got to step up now, though.
Jackson extends it to a 7-point lead for Fenway, and Cash got to get something on this possession.
Shoot.
Brown 3 off the back rim. And Troncoso comes away with it for Cash. This has been where they've gotten in trouble. And now both guys are going at it. We get a technical foul down
Somebody
there
just got
half-court.
kicked out. Somebody for, I believe, Fenway just got kicked out.
I think that might have been.
Looks like it was Santana. Wayne Myers, very inefficient, been around many, many years. And it's been, like you mentioned earlier, it's been a very emotional game. Obviously, because Cash wants to get their first win. Fenway doesn't want to be the first victim, right?
Sure.
In a home game, which on paper, Fenway was expected to win pretty handily.
Well, you talk about the frustration for Cash. Meanwhile, for Fenway, they had this nice season going along. They lost 3 in a row because they've lost a couple of guys to some things going on at school. Then a couple of guys have been sick. So a good team that has made the state tournament, but they're frustrated because of how things have unfolded these last couple of weeks.
And because this is the time of year where you get yourself really geared up
for the postseason.
Get all your pieces in place for the postseason. The good thing about the Boston, you have the Boston City Championships during the February school vacation, with all the teams get really excited about. Big crowd, no classes.
Right.
And you could just practice and get ready to play. So we got, who's out? Let me see.
They might be tossing both players.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, it'd be a shame if the Cash kick gets thrown out. He was triple teams. He did get hit. So I'm not sure if he had a.
It was Troncoso who was in the middle of the scrum.
All right, he was the one. He got triple team, hit the ball, got caught on the sideline.
He's sitting down on the bench right now, so he might have been.
If he's gone, that's really bad for them.
Coach Simpson.
We get that long face on.
He knows that he cannot afford that.
Yeah, I think he might have that one right. And then I think for Fenway, I'm pretty sure it was Santana. So they're going to shoot their technicals first, then Fenway will shoot.
Adamson at the line shooting the techs, and he cannot hit the first.
Oh, that was the one. Sorry, that was the one-on-one.
That was the one-on-one. So now Fenway.
Wow, Troncoso did get thrown out. That's a tough call. And again, it all starts with that pressure defense. They forced him against the sideline, right over half court. And what you mentioned too, no movement from his teammates, nowhere to throw the ball. So there's a check. Let me see. So Sweatman will shoot this.
And he is able to get the first. He'll get one more.
Yeah.
That's big for Fenway. That's a 3-possession ball game now with 1:20
Yeah,
left to go.
right, you're right. I mean, we always talk about the city championships, and we have the pleasure of working them. They've been great over the years. I had a chance to see both O'Brien and Brighton over this past weekend. Very good teams. Even though O'Brien played poorly, they played terribly, actually got blown out. But Brighton held on to win a very close game against Cathedral. So looking at those teams, I mean, both O'Brien and Brighton are much bigger than these teams.
Sweatman with another one.
Yeah.
And you talk about teams that aren't quite as big but have been fantastic this year.
Oh,
Tech
right.
Boston has been
Oh, I saw.
awesome.
In fact, I saw this. I saw half of their game. they got a nice win.
They actually just beat O'Brien on Tuesday.
They also beat BC High.
They beat a big BC High team.
That was the game that I saw. I saw the last quarter of that. But you're right. So when you look at, it's still a little early to try to figure it out from the standings because there's more games to play. But we're looking at some interesting matchups, especially in the first round of that city championship.
Yeah, now they've changed it where there's 6 teams that actually make the city championship, and 4 of those teams play in that first round.
Right, that's
and
right.
then the 2 top teams actually have a bye.
They move on, yeah, and then So
it's essentially 2 rounds of the city playoffs, and then the city championship. It's going to be very interesting.
We should be there that Thursday. One of the things to look forward to every year because the emotion, like I said, people can come out because it's school vacation.
Yep.
Don't have to worry about being home early or homework, and it's just makes it fun for the players.
A lot of times you talk to guys who played for these teams years ago, and they'll say, yep, we were city champions then. We were almost more than the state championship. I mean, they talk about the city championship.
The thing about, because Boston, first of all, there's so many high schools.
Sure.
So it's a big deal if you're able to get that far, and then if you're able to win it, it is a big deal.
So this lead has been extended to 12, and Fenway's going to go home with their 11th win of the season as Brown misses that jumper.
They don't have to shoot unless Cash fouls. They don't need any more shots. They're not even going to attempt a shot.
Well, it'll go down in the books as a 12-point win for Fenway, but it was much closer.
Much more fun
that
game than this.
Here tonight.
Much closer. You're right.
And Cash putting in a fantastic effort tonight, but it's the Fenway Panthers who are going to take home the win. They take down the Cash Chargers 78-66, and boy, that was a fun one here tonight between these 2 teams.
For 3 quarters, like you said, Cash was able to they pretty much maintained the lead the whole 3 quarters, and then when Fenway really turned up that man-to-man full-court pressure, that created some problems for Cash. Some unforced turnovers, then there were some forced turnovers, some missed shots, which they were making in the first half, and things just sort of fell apart for Cash. And then when you mentioned, you were right, when Trembosco went out, got kicked out of the game, that was it. They were done because he's pretty much as close as they have to a main player.
Sure. Sure, that sort of sealed the deal there for the Cash Chargers with a great effort tonight, but it wasn't quite enough as the Fenway Panthers earned their 11th win of the season. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we will have the Game of the Week MVP, our game-winning coach, and our final stats from this game here at Hennigan, the Hennigan School in Jamaica Plain. We'll be right back.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Got a quarter?
Back here at Hennigan Community Center as the Fenway Panthers got their 11th win, 78-66 over Cash, and a very well-played game, fun game, back to the end. Double duty for Pat Flaherty tonight. He's over there with the Fenway coach, Bruce DeSilva, and the star of the game, little point guard, Sweatman.
Thanks very much, Alan. I'm here with the player of the game, sophomore point guard for Fenway, Devontae Sweatman. Devontae, you had a phenomenal game, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 8 assists, 8 steals. Just a phenomenal game for you. You did a little bit of everything out there. Normally, you're a facilitator. You drop the ball off to your big guys, you kick it out to the three-point shooters, but today you were more of a scorer. What happened out on the floor where you decided that I'm going to be the scorer tonight for my team?
Well, for the past games, we came out we lost 3 straight. So, and then now, we have a couple plays that's not out. So my coach told me I had to step up, and I did what I had to do.
Step up you did, and we certainly saw it out there on the floor. Like you mentioned, you had a couple of guys out. What has it been like to try to pick up the slack for you, and also Damon and some of the other guys have had to pick up the scoring? What have you guys talked about over these last couple of games where it's been a little tough missing some guys, and you guys have had to step up for this team? Well,
one of our main scorers, he wasn't playing today. So as you know, we had to step up on defense so we can get more turnovers so we can be easier to put the ball in the hoop. And in practice, coach always make it push us, make it go harder every day. So that's what we did.
You certainly played hard tonight. We saw it out there on the floor. You guys now have 11 wins on the season. You're already in the state tournament. You guys are probably eyeing the city playoffs now. It's expanded a little bit. You guys have a good chance of getting into those as well. What do you guys have to do well going forward to make a good run into the postseason?
Well, as you know, it's like today, like we started off slow, but like, we could pick it up in the beginning, so we won't be chilling towards the end.
No question. Well, you certainly picked it up the whole game. Devontae, congratulations. Great game for you.
These guys like they won a championship.
I'd hate to be the janitor that asked them off this up.
I win a championship.
That's okay. That's okay.
Let's
Coach.
go. Let's go.
It's okay, Coach. I didn't get wet, so I'm good.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I know
get
Coach
this
is
one.
Silver.
I'm gonna get
Coach,
this one.
I'm sure these guys are going to run tomorrow now.
Oh yeah.
How
absolutely.
many suicides are they going to do in tomorrow's practice?
We're going to call their parents after this.
Certainly a good win for you guys, though, today. Devontae, how good was he today out on the floor?
He was excellent. He stepped up. You saw what he did. He did a little bit of everything. We needed it. Was missing one of our main scorers. As you know, Melvin Cuevas. He's kind of our floor general. And Dede's always doing his thing, but today he had to really step up. You can see by the numbers what he did today.
No question. I mean, he did a little bit of everything out on the floor there. You know, this was a really great effort by Cash. I mean, they're a winless team coming in to today, but it certainly wasn't a winless effort. They played really hard tonight.
They did. We played them early on in the year, and we beat them by about 20, 25, 20, 23, and they can shoot the ball. I knew that. I knew it coming in. But today they were lights out. We jumped in the zone because I didn't really want to press them too hard, so I was down a couple guys. One of my other guys that come off the bench, Johnny Barnes, is gone with a staph infection. He just got back today. So let's stay in the zone and try to work it out, and it didn't work. So I did multiple defenses. We had to jump in our man-to-man, which is our go-to defense. We pressed the whole way down the fourth quarter, and we got back in the game. And that's what they love. They thrive on that stuff. They really do.
Yeah. No question. You guys picked it up there in the second half, and that's what got you to the end there. Now, I asked this to Devontae, and I'm going to ask this to you too. You guys certainly have your sights set on the postseason with how many wins you have already. What are some of the things that your team has to do down the stretch here, just before the city playoffs and the state tournament, to make a good postseason run this year?
Well, when you get everybody back on board, and we just got to work harder in practice. Maybe get a little bit better on defense. I think we do a good job, but we're not doing it as a team all the time. Some guys are still getting lost as I'm looking. That's why I'm always yelling down the court. I'm losing my voice half the time. But they play hard. No matter what, they play hard, and I love that, but that's not enough. We got to execute better and just be a little smarter on the court by rotating and just being better at boxing out. But again, we have three more games left now, and each game is going to get us close to the city. We got to win these out. And then after that, I'm more concerned about the states, just getting better for the states. The city's going to be nice, but the states is where I'm looking for. We had a good run last year, and I think we can make a further run if guys bring it together the right way.
No question. Yeah. You guys had a really nice year last year, and I think it's going to be even better this year with the way you guys played tonight and how hard you guys play. Coach, congratulations on the win tonight, and good luck going forward. Hopefully we'll see you maybe down the road.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
You got it, Bruce. Alan, back to you. These guys are certainly pumped. I'm not wet, but he is, so he's going to go dry off. But let's take a look at the final stats now, Alan. Thanks.
Thanks, Pat. Haven't seen that before. Got teams getting drenched. The ASC Cash final stats: 10 points for Million, 10 points for Thompson. Rebounds: Tronkowsko 7 rebounds, and Million with 5 and assists. You had 9 for Brown, while Million pitched in with 3 assists. Go to Fenway. Big second half for Fenway. You talked about the outstanding player, Devontae Sweatman, getting 25 points. Barbosa had 13, and most of those were in the fourth quarter after getting foul trouble. Really important for him to have those points and to come back. Rebounds, Sweatman with 10 rebounds. Jackson pitched in with 8, and assists, as expected. Sweatman led them with 8 assists, and Barbosa again with 7. So nice comeback win in the fourth quarter for Fenway, as they were able to get their 11th win, and unfortunately for Cash, keep them winless.
No question. I mean, you still got to look at this game, I think, for Cash and say that this was a good step going forward. I mean, with the way that they played tonight, they obviously shot well, but I think defensively, might have even been better for them, especially in that first half, how well they defended this tough Fenway.
Well, what we saw, and you pointed out at the time, the 5 for 6 3-pointers in the first, 4 or 5 minutes of the game, that seemed to get them so pumped up that they put a lot of energy into the defense. And it was sort of like they caught Fenway by surprise. And they had the lead, had a double-digit lead, kept the lead throughout into the halftime, into the third quarter. But fourth quarter, Fenway, their overall better talent and the size, and their quickness defensively really turned the game around to get the win, which, like you said, In the end, it was a 12-point win, but that's very deceiving. It was a close game all the way.
Played a lot closer, and even Fenway really didn't have a lead till that fourth quarter. So this was certainly a fun one here tonight, folks. If you want to watch this game again, you can go to our website, www.cityofboston.gov/game of the week. All the games from this season are going to be up there. You can also follow us on Facebook. Search for Game of the Week here in Boston. A lot of good links to the game, links to other videos and other pictures that we got up there. Make sure you check that out as well. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. Very good game tonight. We got a couple of games over the next couple of weeks, then a city championships, a state tournament time.
School vacation's coming.
This season is flying by. It is unreal. Folks, for right now, we're going to say so long here from the Hennigan School in Jamaica Plain here on Game of the Week. Take care.